There's something I've been noticing, and while I've been talking on this channel about how to face your fears and how to step out of your comfort zone and all the good things about it, it's obviously not that easy. And I was just thinking, wait, let me share this, because basically the reason I started this channel is because I'm not afraid of posting videos, and they really help me out more than you could imagine. But I'm afraid of something else, right? So that's why I started this channel, because I was hoping I can kind of face my fears and get myself to that point through video making, if that makes sense, because that's like my safe space. So at the night of my birthday, basically that was by coincidence. I didn't plan it out like that because, bro, I was stressed out. But I was basically kind of like facing that fear I was talking about that I just can't get over like decades, whatever. And I messed up in the sense of it probably couldn't have gone worse. Now, I don't want to scare you or anything. I have no regrets about that, because the only thing that would have been even worse is not giving it a try, okay? But there's something I've been wondering about, because normally I would expect myself to really cry it out and have like a couple days feeling really down about this, because I don't know, like if... Well, I'm still like a black and white type of thinker in on my mind, you know. So when things like this happen, I do go into, usually my mind goes into, you have like messed up this one shot you got, like whatever, Eminem type of lyrics. But this is just how it feels. Like this is how it feels when something is important to you and you cannot get it right, and you just like, damn, like I don't want it no more. I don't want no more. Like nothing is working out, and I just don't. Alright, that's when the audio cut me off. I mean, that's the hard part, and I just really want to address that, because I've been, you know, talking about facing your fears. I've been talking about stepping out of your comfort zone and finding beauty on the other side, and there is actually beauty on the other side of fear and all of this. But there's not only beautiful things, and it doesn't mean that everything, you know, is like climbing up the ladder and everything gets better at the top, and you're not stepping inside this little rocket. It's not like you're inside your comfort zone, you walk into here, it takes off like whoop. Well, maybe, but most likely not. Not for me. And that's not a bad thing. It's like, I feel like the bigger you have your fears become, or the things that you're not actually doing that you want to do, the more they turn into something that you don't really understand. Like, it becomes this type of illusion that you cannot even grasp. It might be something that's not such a big deal, like a fear that is not such a big deal, but that the fact that you have never faced it, the fact that you never actually did it, makes it appear much bigger and much different. So one thing that definitely changes is like once you go out of your way and you just do whatever, you know, you're scared of, then it loses the illusion and it becomes real. And I feel like that's something to appreciate too. And I don't know why, when I pick up this camera, I can be so positive. But when it comes to me and myself in these situations, usually I would just really cry it out for days. Like, that's why I'm so surprised that my reaction is basically missing still. And I'm still waiting for it to like kind of punch me in the face at a moment I was least expecting it. For example, when I'm in my car driving home from work and I'm actually alone on some days in my car, that's usually when all these emotions creep up, like, whoop, whatever. It hasn't been happening, because I was literally thinking about this moment in the car, like the night of my birthday, and I was like, oh, now I'm gonna cry it out, because I already know myself, like this is how all my life has been, and this was actually that bad that it deserves to be cried about. Like, you know, this is kind of how I'm used to having my body cope with things like that. It didn't happen. I was like, what? I've cried it out in this car about anything and everything. I'm not crying. Like, why am I not crying? I'm not too mad about that. I'm just surprised. Is that a sign of healing that my reaction has changed? It's actually that crazy. So this is just supposed to be a real video like that, because something I can't stand is when my videos don't really show what's actually going on in my life, and it feels like I'm always motivating, yeah, but that's not really the point. The point is not that everything is great on the other side. The point is that you are walking towards everything better, and you are healing and growing, but the journey there is not always bright on all the days, and sometimes stepping out of your comfort zone feels like actually dying. And it feels like you actually was dying when you think back. And that's also a sign of like, it's okay. It's not always bright there. But just give yourself some grace. I treat myself a bit different than I would talk to another person. So for anybody else out there, if you go out and do something that you've never done before, I am proud of you, because I know that this is something that you have been struggling with and nobody else can understand, because they probably are struggling with different things. And we tend to be so self-centered and focused on our own problems and our own perspective that we don't really can see it for somebody else. And often, you know, if you're not really close to somebody, they will not come up to you and say, oh, I'm proud of you that you did that, because they don't see how big of a thing it was for you. But if you did it, you know, whatever little thing it is, it doesn't matter. It was big for you, right? So I'm actually proud of you. And in that case, it doesn't matter the outcome. It matters that you tried it out. Like, you're not one of those people that is walking their life kind of complaining every day a little bit, because they're not actually doing nothing to change. Because if you have no actions that follow your words, nothing is ever going to change, okay? So no matter what, I'm proud of you. So I'm just in this weird space of like, I'm a little bit confused, because I have never noticed this type of reaction of myself to kind of like, you know, things going wrong, and I'm like, what? I'm not like breaking down. I'm not like losing control over my life for a couple days and just going into this dip down, really low place where I'm just hating everything that I do, because that's how it always used to be. And just like, okay, I'm cool with that. I don't need that. Like, it's just wild. It's missing. Okay, I noticed that. So that's something I want to share. And last thing I was saying before when the video cut me off, you know, sometimes it's hard to see the things that we got because we already got them. So we take them for granted. Think about something that you're actually not scared of. It's easy for you, but it's something really scary for other people. And can you understand how they see this as an obstacle, how they are actually, you know, kind of battling? Just think about something that comes easy for you, but is really difficult for other people. For me, for example, it would be having a really strong sense of social justice, and also not being scared to like speak up when there's any injustice happening. Like, I have not been really, you know, speaking up that much, but anytime that happens, I'm like, if I just like express a little bit of an opinion, which I think is the only opinion out there that you can have. And I have people that I consider as kind of close to me, and they like, wait, don't say nothing about this, stay silent and be careful. I'm like, what? What am I supposed to be silent about? This actually made me really mad, because I was like, yeah, you are scared, okay? Not me. I'm not scared, and don't tell me what not to do if I'm doing the right thing and I know that I do the right thing. So I feel like, yeah, like I rage out pretty quickly if there's some kind of injustice going on. That's something I don't need to work on. Like, I'm okay with that, because like, I don't want to live this life tolerating anything that is not right, that could never happen to me, okay? I cannot be around people who try to silence me. I'm okay with having people around me that do not speak up actively unless there was an injustice right in front of them, if that makes sense, right? You don't have to have this type of sense of whatever. I know mine is a bit huge, but actually I love it. I think that's like one of my biggest strengths. I was just born like that. It didn't come from nowhere, it's just born like that. So it has always been there, and it's surely gonna stay there, because there's no one gonna take that away from me. I feel like that's one of the strongest connections you can have to whatever you believe in. And yeah. So that's a strength, because I see many people are scared of that. And I can understand that they are scared, because I am scared of different things. So that's something I like to compare it to. I'm like, well, I wouldn't trade my fear for having that type of fear, because actually my fear is much cooler than that one. In that case, I could just laugh about the fact that I took how many videos I got on this channel, the main reason being that I was not able to face my fear. That's really the reason, because this is my comfort zone. Like, I love taking videos. There's nothing bad about that. I will still post them even if I, you know, pick the wrong camera perspective, whatever type of lighting, and I look kind of tired. That's not the point. That's not the point. I really wanted to take this video because it's basically showing you both sides. Do whatever that you're scared of. Maybe nothing can happen at all, because in the worst case scenario, everything goes wrong, yes, but you still did it anyway. So there was kind of no way around that could have prepared you for what has happened because of, you know, whatever circumstances. Like in your head, you already done everything. So it's like, it's okay that you messed up everything, but you still did it. Like that makes sense? For me, it does. Because if there's one thing I truly can say is, beforehand, I had no idea what I could do to prepare myself for anything because I just didn't know, okay? Now I do know better for a fact, but I was absolutely clueless and lost. And, well, if you don't have people around you that can guide you, like, I don't know, whatever I'm talking about, but yeah, that's actually what I mean. Like, of course, if you have good friends who actually don't have that fear, they actually are really good at doing what you are scared of. I always thought that was going to be the perfect kind of connection, but it can also get toxic, by the way. Like, I had that with my ex-boyfriend, honestly. I was like, maybe I gotta do this on my own. Like, before asking anyone for advice and whatever, sometimes you just gotta learn on your own. But at the same time, there's people who are not toxic, and it's actually beautiful to like help each other out. Like, if I see someone is scared of something, you know, whatever type of insecurity they got, I can relate to that because of my own insecurities, even if they don't match what they got. And that's even better, because if we don't share the same insecurities, then we're not going to trauma bond and forever cycle on the ground floor. We're just going to actually support each other, because whatever I am not scared of, I would love for you to meet that fear, because I will tell you that it's actually not that scary, and I will like guide you into, like, you know, getting to know that fear. So I think that would be one of the most beautiful things you can possibly do. And there are things, I'm sure there are things that you don't even think about that you easily do and others are scared of.